special meeting of the Penfield Public Library Board of Trustees. This is a public hearing to provide opportunity to speak onto about whatever word you want to use about a policy. So let me begin by saying that the policy that we're talking about tonight is the internet safety policy for the Penfield Public Library. I'd like to take a moment just to introduce the board members who are here with us, so that anybody who happens to be following online at home on public access will know. So I'm just going to go kind of follow who I have. So our board members present, we have Melissa Bowie, Amy Jafrida, Mary McVicker-Kime, Megan Griffin-Adams, Rachel O'Neill, and Niraj Shah. Two of our other board members were not able to make it tonight, but we do have a quorum, and so we can proceed with this hearing. There are ground rules for public comment. The public comments will come up in a little bit after we've stated the policy, but we just want to give you a moment that of how the public comments will proceed. We'll first take live questions. And then if there are no more live questions, we'll take any that have been submitted on or through chat. We'll try to set a time limit of 3 minutes per question. We do ask anybody who's making a question to state their name, to mention who they are addressing the question to, so we know who's prepared to answer. And those are kind of the ground rules. And so we're going to go ahead and cover some of the legal things, such as we have to mention that we gave proper public notice of the hearing. And so, Bunny, are you ready to speak to that and to tell people when the proper public notice was provided?
Yes.
All right, if you would please do so.
Legal notice for this hearing appeared in the Post on November 5th. It appeared on the digital version of City Magazine from the 28th of October through the 4th of November. It appeared in the Democrat and Chronicle on the 29th of October. It also appeared on the Penfield website, the Penfield Public Library website. It was posted in the library from October 22nd on, and it was also announced via the library's Facebook and Twitter accounts.
All right, thank you very much. So the public that isn't here tonight is because they chose not to be here, not because they weren't given the opportunity to be informed. All right, so the next step is to summarize the policy. The board has received the full policy, but we'll provide a summary here tonight, a spoken summary. And Bunny, you had offered to do that. Are you still willing to do so?
Yes.
Right.
The Universal Service Administrative Corporation that administers E-rate, which is a discount telecommunications contract for educational institutions like libraries and schools, periodically do an audit of those people who have taken advantage of the E-rate. And we were audited this year. And it was recommended by the corporation that all the libraries in Monroe County rewrite their internet safety policies to make sure they were in compliance with the rules of the corporation. The corporation attempts to be in total compliance with the rules set out by the Children's Internet Protection Act, the Neighborhood Children's Internet Protection Act, and the Protecting Children in the 20th Century Act. And all those acts, federal acts, say that a library that accepts E-rate funds to access the internet must have a policy of internet safety that includes the operation of a technology protection measure with respect to any of its computers with internet access that protects against access through such computers to visual depictions that are obscene, child pornography, or harmful to minors with respect to computers used by minors. So the internet access or safety policy must address access by minors to inappropriate matter on the internet and World Wide Web, the safety and security of minors when using electronic mail, chat rooms, and other forms of direct electronic communications, unauthorized access, including so-called hacking and other unlawful activities by minors online, unauthorized disclosure, use, and dissemination of personal identification information regarding minors, and measures designed to restrict minors' access to materials harmful to minors. The policy should also include a procedure by which the authorized individuals will, without significant delay, disable the internet filter upon request by an adult. Our draft policy includes everything that the corporation requires.
Thank you. So before we move to the comments, I realized that I missed a piece of legal because it was given to me. I got the agenda and then I got the piece of legal. I do have to read this from the town. Due to the COVID-19 virus and the closing of town operations consisting with the governor's executive orders, this public hearing of the Penfield Library Board is being held remotely via Zoom. The meeting is video recorded and broadcast live via the town's website, www.penfield.org, and on the town's government access cable channel 1303, and on streaming media devices, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. Those of you who search Penfield TV should be able to find it in their app store, and that would be free. The meeting is also going to be transcribed. So questions regarding the video coverage should be sent to Penfield TV at area code 585-340-8661. If you'd like to address the board on this public hearing matter, there is specific public participation tonight during the meeting, but it's actually still open until our next library board meeting. And so you can submit questions or comments by phone at 585-340-8771 or electronically through www.penfield.org. All right, that takes care of our legal matters for having a meeting via Zoom rather than in person. So we're now ready to move on to the part of the agenda where we do entertain comments. And the board is the first to go. And I'm going to preempt the board by, so I'd said I couldn't remember if Barbara was going to be here or not. And while Bunny was talking, I checked. Barbara's not going to be here, but she did send me comments ahead of time. She had a number of comments and corrections, mostly regarding grammar rather than content. And so she had shared those with Bunny and Gail in advance of the meeting. And we will likely incorporate those into the final draft that we approve at our next board meeting. So any of the board members who are present have any comments or questions about the policy? Since we had a chance to look at it and comment previously, I'm not surprised, but I do have to just go by protocol and ask you first. I'm going to check if there's any public comments from the public. I don't see any public on the chat. Nobody seems to have joined us. But I will wait a couple of moments just to make sure that's the true. All right.
Currently, Chris, the form and phone are clear. No comments.
All right. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you filling me in on that. So the next step after tonight's public forum is that the policy with any edits will be presented at the subsequent library board meeting, which is the third Tuesday of the month, which is November 17th. So it'll be taken up as part of our regular business during our policies and bylaws section. If you do have any comments, you can get it to us by that meeting, November 17, and that is when we will likely approve the policy. So any questions from the board on next steps after tonight? I'm seeing lots of head shaking, which indicates no. So I thank you all for your participation so that we can be in good standing with New York State's laws regarding nonprofit organizations. Unless there are any questions or objections, I will go ahead and request a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have such a motion? Yes, Amy moved, and I'll take Niraj as the seconder. All in favor signify by giving a wave. All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie Gale. Thank you, Brian.